Okay guys, so remember originally we started with our 9 different designs. I'm still kind of working on mine, but I have a good idea of what I want to do. Okay, so these are the ones where we're getting our ideas down, we're putting lots of detail, all of that good stuff, okay? Then yesterday I showed you how to take your template, okay, so your original template that you used to cut out your clay, and to trace it onto a piece of scratch paper, kind of like I've done. And then the top 4, the 4 that you are gonna wanna do in clay, you're gonna put on a bigger stencil that you're gonna actually use to trace into the clay. Okay, so you have some options. So these I just kind of freehanded. Okay, notice that I don't have all of the detail and the shading and all of that stuff I did in the original ones. This is more of just an outline, and that's okay. Your other option is to print something out, okay? So this is just one I printed from the internet. I have kind of a theme going here. These are all succulents, or this one's a little cactus. You don't necessarily have to do that. They can just be 4 different things from nature. But if you want to change it up a little bit and make them all go together, that's fine too. Just make sure that there's something from nature. When you do your sketches again and bigger, make sure that they fill up at least 80% of that 4x4 square. So what I'm not looking for is something tiny in the middle. Okay, so I don't want anything like that. You want it to fill up about 80% of the square, okay? So from there, we're ready to put these onto our slabs. So your slabs here, okay, they should be at a state that's called leather hard, okay? And if you stack them on top of each other, you're gonna notice that maybe the top ones are a little bit drier than the bottom ones. So you're probably gonna start with your top driest ones. So we're only gonna be using 2 of these today. So that means these other 2 get bagged and put away. And I suggest that every day you're just adding a little bit of water to the ones that you're not using. You can put a paper towel in between if you want. You can spray these, but you don't want them to stick together, and you don't want them to get too dry, because eventually they will start cracking and breaking and all kinds of stuff that we don't want to deal with, okay? So remember, no air in the bag, and just kind of tuck it under, and those we can put away until later. So we're only going to be using 2. And again, when you pick these up, they shouldn't bend out of shape or anything. So I have another one over here that I rolled out today, and I want you to see the difference. So this one, if I pick it up, it kind of bends. It's really mushy. If I were to trace my design in there, it's just gonna mush all out of shape, and I'm not even gonna really be able to see it. These really do kind of have to set up unbagged for an hour, and just even be in your clay bag on the board for a day or 2. That really helps. The board will actually kind of suck the moisture out of it. Okay, so we're gonna get one of our designs, and you're gonna need a pair of scissors, and you're gonna cut one of these out. I already have this one that I printed out, so I'm gonna start with that. Cut off as much excess of the white paper as you can, because you wanna be able to kind of see, you know, that it's not going off the edge or anything like that. You could, just so the paper kind of sticks a little bit, get this slightly wet. Don't get it too wet, because then the paper will get all stuck in there. And the paper sometimes does get stuck in there anyways. Okay, so I can tell this is not going off the edge. Everything is in there. It's kind of sticking. Okay, the best tool that you can use is a pen. Sometimes a pencil is too sharp and it will rip the paper. Something like a toothpick tends to rip the paper too. So literally just a regular old ballpoint pen is the best. And now I'm just going to trace this. So I'm pushing in hard enough that I can feel that it's actually making an indent, but it is, it's not ripping the paper, okay? And it's going to be light. I'm going to show you here in just a minute. I'm just going to do this one really quick. It's going to be light, but it's going to be enough that you can see it. And don't pick up the paper, don't take the paper off until you've finished your design. If you want to check and just take a little peek and make sure that it's working, just hold on to one side and then lift it up. And I can already see that it is tracing very nice, okay? So then it doesn't want to stick for a minute, and then once I start tracing again, it starts to stick again, okay? So I'll just do a little bit more. You don't necessarily have to get, you know, shading, but you want to have a nice clear outline. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I don't have every single petal, but good enough to start with, okay? So I'm going to peel this off and let you see. So see, you can see half of my design all traced in there. So now I'm going to take my needle tool or my toothpick, and I'm just going to kind of outline everything so I can see it better. When you're doing this, try laying the toothpick down kind of at an angle at the side like this. And it sounds like a strange thing to do, but you're going to notice that you get all these like little pieces of clay. In class, we would take a toothbrush and we would just kind of get rid of those. But hopefully if you kind of lean your toothpick at the side, you won't get too many. I'll show you the difference just a second. So see, I'm getting a little bit, but nothing too bad. If I put my tool straight up and down, I will get a lot. Okay, so I'm really getting a lot there. So you're gonna wanna trace this whole thing, and then we will talk about our reliefing and how we want to do that. Okay, so you're gonna do 2 of these. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna finish my little succulent, and then I'm gonna do one other one, and then I will show you how to relief, okay?